Hello, everybody. Grace chatting here. I just wanted to make this recording. It's the beginning of a new series of videos called Lessons in Love. And it follows on from the series that I did on how to survive living with an alcoholic and also narcissistic abuse awareness. So I thought I'd make something that was a little bit lighter for those who are kind of coming out the other side. So the first lesson in love, I would say, is that I am not, and you are not responsible for anyone else unless they're a child or someone in your care who is ill or has a disability or incapacity of some kind. But for all the other adults in your life, you are not responsible for taking care of them. You are only responsible for taking care of yourself. Now, that might sound a little bit selfish, but it's a healthy selfish. Many of us, particularly girls and women, and those who are older siblings, the oldest in the family, they grow up feeling that they've got to take care of other people. And actually, if they're going to be loved and approved of and please others, and we all need to be approved of when we're young. It's a matter of survival. So we develop those habits of taking care of other people, and we develop the habit of being over responsible. And I learned that lesson when I was probably about in my mid-30s, and I was reading a book by Fritz Perls on Gestalt, and it was one of those times when the sentence almost slipped out of the book and spoke to me, and it was this: you did not come into this world to meet up to anyone's expectations, and you do not have to justify yourself to anyone. And I thought, wow. And I read it again. You did not come into this world to meet up to anyone's expectations, and you do not have to justify yourself to anyone. And I thought, wow, well, I have just spent my whole life constantly, from as far back as I could remember, trying to meet up to other people's expectations, whether it was family members or my husband's or my children's or my neighbours or, people round about. I was constantly trying to second guess, what did they want from me? What did they expect? And if I was going to say anything to them, I would stop to think, oh, well, I better not say that because they might think this, or I better not say that because they might feel the other, and they might think I don't. And, I was constantly tying myself up in knots. And of course, I was never really being myself. So that was a really valuable lesson to learn. And I realized from that I had been being a real people pleaser, trying to please everybody. And actually, I was making myself into a nervous wreck. And I decided then that I was going to stop doing that. But I also realized that because that seemed a bit selfish, that actually I could still care for those people that I love, but that I was not responsible for those adults. I was responsible for my children, but I was not responsible for the adults in my life. And a lot of the adults in my life thought that I should take care of them. So the lesson is, if the people in your life are grown-ups and they are able to take care of themselves, then that's what they need to do. You can help them, you can support them, but not being over responsible. The rule of thumb is, don't do anything for them that they can do for themselves. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't make them a cup of coffee or just be a little bit helpful. But fundamentally, their moods and their feelings are not your responsibility. They're not responsible for making you happy, and you're not responsible for making them happy. Now, in the series, I will amplify on this and I will say more. But for now, you can make the distinction that we have a responsibility towards our loved ones, but we are not responsible for them, providing they're adults and they're able to see to themselves. So I hope you find that helpful. It takes a little while, if you haven't already got that, it takes a little while for that to sink in without you feeling like you're being really selfish. So I look forward to seeing you in lesson 2. So bye for now.